Welcome to League of Legends Champion Spotlight, featuring Shen, the Eye of Twilight.
Our wills align.
The leader of a secret clan of mystic warriors, Shen is neither tempted by evil nor emboldened by good, and acts only to ensure perfect balance is maintained throughout Runeterra. In-game, Shen is a beefy, energy-based tank who can take up roles in solo lanes, the river, and the jungle. Once he's picked his positional poison, he serves as a constant protector to his allies, thanks to his global ultimate and slew of disruptive abilities.
With balanced steps.
Before we get into those abilities, let's talk about his Spirit Blade. It's basically a big sword that joins him as he makes his way through the rift. While it doesn't do anything on its own, Shen gets to manipulate it with his abilities, which we'll go into now. Shen's passive, Key Barrier, gives the big guy a small shield for a few seconds whenever he uses an ability. Key Barrier's cooldown is reduced whenever one of his abilities affects another champion. Basically, taunt a baddie, you get a lower cooldown. Shield a pal, lower cooldown. You get the idea. Next up is Shen's Q, Twilight Assault. Shen calls his Spirit Blade to him, buffing his next 3 basic attacks to deal bonus damage on hit. If Shen pulls his blade through an enemy champion, he gets to deal even more damage and gains bonus attack speed for his 3 attacks. Additionally, enemy champions struck by the Spirit Blade are slowed while running away from Shen. Use your Shen smarts to repeatedly manipulate your enemy into areas between you and your Spirit Blade. Successfully pull your blade through your opposite number for a good trade. Do that a couple times in a row and you'll wreck your opponent's early game. Shen's W is Spirit's Refuge, which turns his Spirit Blade into an area of effect dodge zone for a few seconds, nullifying all basic attacks against Shen and his allies. Note the ability originates from Shen's Spirit Blade, not from Shen himself. If no one's around to benefit from the dodge zone, his Spirit Blade will wait a few seconds before activating. Use Spirit's Refuge to dodge predictable enemy attacks. If you're laning, that's normally when they go into fight. But if you're jungling, you can trigger the ability just before the monsters hit back, which can let you dodge an additional round of attacks. Next is Shen's E, Shadow Dash, which has passive and active components. Passively, Shen recovers energy whenever he deals damage with Twilight Assault or Shadow Dash. When activated, Shen dashes in a target direction, damaging and taunting all enemies struck. Use Shadow Dash to catch enemies out of position. Taunt is a super strong mechanic that can easily result in kills when Shen Shadow Dashes correctly. Finally, Shen's ultimate is Stand United, which Shen can cast on allied champions anywhere on the map. Once activated, Stand United gives Shen's target a shield as he channels, and when the channel is complete, Shen teleports to his ally, moving his Spirit Blade with him instantly. Now, Stand United is a channeled ability, so it's interrupted if Shen's nailed by hard crowd control effects like displacement, taunts, charms, stuns, roots, and death. Similarly, Shen can only teleport if he still has someone to Stand United with at the end of the channel. If his target is killed before Shen finishes channeling, he's just going to end up standing. Stand United is a hugely impactful ability, but it requires awesome awareness and even awesomer communication. Time it right and you'll help your team pull off super aggressive tower dives or save your suffering allies from otherwise guaranteed death. Time it wrong and you'll do none of those. Shen's passive makes him surprisingly tanky even at low health. After poking him down, Gnar goes mega and crunches in, looking to burst his enemy down for an easy kill. But Shen's got other ideas. By landing all of his active abilities on either himself or on Gnar, he gets a second round of shielding from Ki Barrier. Ironic if you think about it, keys normally let you get past barriers. Awkward. As soon as you hit 6, start looking out for opportunities to get your ult on. Here, Shen spots Lee Sin on the receiving end, for once, of a jungle invade. He gets a Ki Barrier shield at the end of Stand United and then holds on to Spirit's Refuge until after the shield is broken. Otherwise, the dodge is mostly just wasted. He keeps Quinn and Trundle so preoccupied with his taunts and shields that the entire team is able to come in and pick up 3 kills without suffering any losses in return. Just because Stand United has a global range doesn't mean it has to be used halfway across the map. Sometimes you'll just want to hit R to hand your ally a shield. Like here, when Shen ults to save Lucian from what would have been Jin's killer 4th shot. Sensational. As handy as Spirit's Refuge is, it's even better with Stand United, because your Spirit Blade will appear right on top of your endangered ally. Pull off a Shadow Dash after Spirit's Refuge ends to add even more denial to your teammate's would-be killer. Shen's no assassin, but he is pretty freaking good at dueling other tanks. He negates tons of damage by constantly refreshing Ki Barrier, and only goes into fight when his Spirit Blade is empowered. He also tries really hard to pull Twilight Assault through Scion for the increased damage and attack speed. Shen's 2 levels under Scion and still crushes the fight thanks to some really nice outplays. Finally, here's Shen doing his thing late game. He's able to split push with impunity until he senses that his team is in danger, and takes a guaranteed ride into combat with Stand United. Shen's so disruptive that he holds 3 enemy champions captive while his team fights 4v2. From here, Shen holds on to Shadow Dash until there's a need to taunt the enemy team, which comes when Ziggs tosses Mega Inferno Bomb onto the enemy marksman, blowing him up instantly. Thanks for tuning in to the Shen Champion Spotlight. Please subscribe to the Riot Games YouTube channel and leave us your comments just below the video.
You're already dead. You just haven't caught up yet.